Hey, for all of us here in Arizona with an RV, you know there's nothing quite like the adventure it offers. Whether you're a weekend warrior heading up north or you're living that full-time dream, you've got to protect it the right way. So today, we're going to break down the essential RV coverages, and we'll use some real-world local scenarios to show you exactly what you need.
I mean, that's the dream, right? Hitting the open road in your rig, watching those incredible Arizona landscapes just unfold right in front of you. It's that feeling of total freedom, of just getting out there and making amazing memories.
But let's be real, that freedom also comes with a pretty unique set of risks that are specific to our state. You know, from those sudden monsoon storms and the intense desert heat to just navigating our busy highways, protecting your home on wheels is a whole different ballgame than just your standard car insurance.
Okay, so let's paint a picture. Imagine you're cruising in your motorhome on the I-10, right through Phoenix, and boom, you cause an accident. It's a nightmare scenario for sure. But what happens next? Who's going to pay for the damage to that other car? Or what about their medical bills?
This is exactly where liability coverage steps in to be your financial shield. It's specifically designed to cover the costs for injuries and property damage that you cause to other people. So in that I-10 crash scenario, your liability coverage would help pay for the other driver's medical bills and get their vehicle fixed, right up to your policy limits.
And listen, this isn't just a nice to have. We're talking about the law here. In fact, having liability coverage for an RV is legally required in 49 out of the 50 states. It is the absolute foundation of any good RV policy.
All right, so liability takes care of other people. That's great. But what about your investment? Your RV could be worth tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. What happens when it's the one that needs to be fixed up after an accident?
Well, that's the job of collision coverage. This part of your policy helps pay to repair or even completely replace your RV after it's been in a crash. And that can be with another vehicle or even an object like a pole or a wall. And the most important part, it applies no matter who was at fault.
So for example, imagine you're setting up camp at a beautiful spot near Scottsdale. You're carefully backing your trailer in, and then you hear that awful crunch. You've hit a big old boulder you didn't see, and it's damaged the frame. Not a high-speed wreck, but it's still a collision. Your collision coverage would step right in to handle those repairs, minus your deductible, of course.
But you know, the threats to your RV don't just happen when you're behind the wheel. What about all the other things that can go wrong? You know, theft, vandalism, or our famous and sometimes crazy Arizona weather.
This is where two super important, and honestly often confused, types of coverage come into play. On one side, you have comprehensive coverage. Think of this as protection from things like theft, fire, hail, basically non-collision events. On the other side, you have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, and that protects you when other drivers on the road don't have enough insurance, or worse, none at all.
Let's make this crystal clear with two very different Arizona scenarios. First, imagine a monsoon hailstorm just rolls through Phoenix and pummels your RV's roof. That is a job for your comprehensive coverage. Now picture this. You're driving up I-17, another car clips you, and then just speeds off. A classic hit and run. That's when your uninsured motorist coverage would kick in to help with your repairs and even your medical bills.
Okay, so we've talked about damage to other people's property and to your RV, but what about the most important thing of all, the people inside your vehicle? Who pays the medical bills if you or your passengers get hurt in an accident?
This is what medical payments coverage, or MedPay as we call it, is for. It helps cover those medical expenses for you and anyone riding with you. And here's the key. It applies no matter who is at fault. So let's say you swerve to avoid some wildlife up near Flagstaff and a passenger gets whiplash. MedPay can help with their treatment costs right away.
An RV is so much more than just a vehicle, isn't it? It's basically a carrier for all your adventure gear. Your laptops, camping equipment, bikes, furniture. What happens if all that stuff gets stolen or destroyed?
Well, that's where personal belongings coverage is an absolute lifesaver. It's designed to help you replace all those personal items if they get damaged or stolen. So, if a fire at your campsite destroys your TV and that expensive mountain bike, this coverage is what helps you get that gear back.
All right, now let's talk to a special group of RVers out there. For some of you, the RV isn't just for weekends, it's your home. And when you're a full-timer, you need a totally different level of protection, one that really acts more like a homeowner's policy.
See, a full-timer policy adds these really critical layers of protection. This usually means much higher liability limits because your RV is your main residence. It can also include living expense coverage, so you get a hotel if your RV is unlivable. And it adds a unique protection called loss assessment. So what is that? Let's say you're living full-time in your motorhome at a park near Tucson. The community pool deck needs a huge, unexpected repair, and the park issues a loss assessment. That means every resident has to chip in to cover the cost. It's a really unique risk for full-timers, and this is the specific coverage that helps you pay your share.
I know, navigating all these options can feel pretty complex, especially with all the unique risks we have here in Arizona. That's why having a local expert who gets it on your side, well, it can make all the difference. And that's where we come in.
So if you only remember a few things from all this, let it be these. First, RV insurance is not just car insurance. It's a special hybrid of vehicle and home protection. Second, your policy has to be tailored to your lifestyle. Are you a weekend warrior or a full-timer? And finally, you have to review your policy every year because your needs are always changing.
At Riseson Insurance, our whole philosophy is pretty simple, really. We partner with the best insurance carriers out there to build a policy that's completely customized for you. We get the local risks, and we make sure you're protected from the moment you hit the road to the second you arrive at your destination.
So, it all comes down to this. Is your current policy truly built for your Arizona adventure? If you're ready for that real peace of mind that comes from knowing you've got the right protection, just give us a call. We'd be happy to do a completely customized RV insurance review for you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to helping you out.